Hi and welcome to my newest video where I'm going to show you what Zühlke has to offer when it comes to DevOps. First, I'm going to tell you who I am, then I will show you who Zühlke is, then I will talk about our understanding of DevOps, and then I will show you what our offering in DevOps is. My name is Romano Ross and I am the Chief of DevOps and a partner at Zühlke. I work now for Zühlke since 21 years. I joined Zühlke directly after university as a junior .NET engineer, became then an expert software engineer, then an architect, then a consultant. And one thing that was very close to my heart is how can we continuously deliver value, how can we automate things, and how can we ensure the quality of what we are building. And when the whole DevOps movement started, I jumped right on top of that, became one of the organizers of the DevOps Meetup Zurich, which is a monthly meetup we are doing, and I became also one of the organizers of the DevOps Days Zurich, which is a yearly 2-day conference which we are doing here in Switzerland. The DevOps Days is a global movement in all of the big cities all around the world. There are DevOps Days, and I am the president of the DevOps Days Zurich. You can see that DevOps is very close to my heart. That's also why I have this YouTube channel here where I post a lot of videos all around DevOps architecture and leadership. I also create a lot of content on LinkedIn and Twitter. And if you want to learn more about DevOps, then you can always follow me on these channels. In the projects that I'm doing, I'm working with different clients in different industries doing DevOps transformation. I am the thought leader of DevOps at Zühlke. Zühlke is a global service provider which works across the globe. It was founded 1968 by Gary Zühlke and is still in the hands of partners like I am a partner. We are roughly more than 2,000 people working across the globe in 17 offices in 10 countries. At Zühlke, we have a broad set of capabilities which we are offering to our client. From digital consulting, where we do agile transformation or strategy consulting, to AI and data, over to cloud, to cybersecurity, to digital experience, software excellence, and even hardware and electronic development with devices, and of course, DevOps, we are offering everything. This means that Zühlke is able to do everything from strategy to the very execution of everything, from software development over to creating cyber-physical system with electronic and mechanics. In today's video, we will only focus on DevOps, and I will show you now what our understanding of DevOps is and what our capabilities and our offering in DevOps is. When I go to companies, I quite often see the following picture. You have the business with great plans. They are putting these great plans into Jira tickets and Word documents, and then they throw it over the wall of confusion to the development team. The development team looks at the Word document or the Jira ticket and tells, yeah, if you want to have that, we can implement that. And they implement something, and then they throw it over the wall of confusion to the testing team. The testing team looks at the specification, looks at what has been implemented. It's not the same, but they test something, it's green, and then they throw it over the wall of confusion to the operation team. The operation team looks at that and says, how should we operate that? That will never work in production. But somehow they manage to get it to work, and they throw it over the wall of confusion to the client or to the business. And then they say, what is that? This is not what we wanted. This is not working for us. And that's what we usually see, and that's a huge problem we have. You can see that there is this blue infinity symbol, which is the value stream of such a team or such an organization. The problem is that this value stream is interrupted by so-called walls of confusion. These walls of confusion, they are coming from the silo organization, which we have. We have business silo, we have development silo, we have testing silo, operation silo, and many more silos. And these silos, they are not working together. They have no real alignment. They also have different goals. And this is a huge problem when you want to continuously deliver value. But what you also can see is that in this whole value stream, there is a lack of excellence, especially a lack of software engineering excellence. So what helps here is DevOps, because DevOps is a mindset and a culture and a set of technical practices which allows us to organize ourselves across the value stream so that all the people are working together to continuously deliver value to the customer. When we talk about the people, then we really mean all of the people. And I must admit that the term DevOps, which is development and operation, is not a very good choice. Of course, there are some bright people out there which says, yeah, we need to fix that term. Security is very important nowadays. We need to call it devsecops, which is development, security, and operation. And some other people say, oh, no. We need to call it biz DevOps because the business is very, very important. They are giving us the money. So let's call it biz DevOps, which is business development and operation. And you can see this whole discussion and fixing that name goes nowhere. What we would need is sort of a name like DevSec, Bits, Arc, Comp, QA, Ops. And I'm pretty sure that I have forgotten someone. We can also call it devsecops or devstarops, or we can just call it DevOps. Because DevOps is all about bringing all the people, process and technology together to continuously deliver value. This is what DevOps is. When you look at the benefits of DevOps, then you have the state of DevOps reports which are out there. They are going to look at every year what the state of DevOps is. They are comparing the low performers versus the high performers, so the companies which are doing DevOps versus the companies which are not doing DevOps. And the numbers are just very, very impressive. When you summarize these numbers, then you can clearly see when you are doing DevOps, you have a faster time to market, more value for money, higher quality, higher customer satisfaction, and top qualified employees. And the most important thing about these 5 points is that all the CIOs in all of the companies exactly want to have that. So, why is not everybody doing DevOps? Because doing DevOps in one team is already challenging, but doing DevOps at scale is even more challenging. When we look at how software development looks like in most of the companies, then we can see that we have the dev team, which throws the things over the wall to different ops teams. This is usually the initial setup that we see. Usually what happens is that management says, yeah, we want to have also that DevOps, so let's create a new unit called DevOps, which is between dev and ops. So they are going to introduce another silo, another wall of confusion, because now dev still implements their features, they throw it over the wall of confusion to the DevOps team, which then throws it over the wall of confusion to the ops team. So there is not much gain in there, what we have here. So what does DevOps at scale look like? It looks like this. You have all the people together in so-called product teams. And here you see dev and ops, and of course I mean here all the people which are working on that product. So you have a product team. But such a setup has also its downsides, because you are going to introduce now some inconsistencies, some redundancies. Also, these teams usually lack the operational experience, and you always have huge discussions about cloud, on-prem, and also of the tools. And the tools can make things quite complex. Let's have a look at the tooling. Usually when you talk about DevOps, many people think that DevOps is CI/CD, which is continuous integration and continuous deployment. Yes, CI/CD is an important part of doing DevOps, but it's not enough. It's much, much more. We have learned that DevOps is a mindset, a culture, and a set of technical practices. And when we look at the CI/CD pipeline, then here you can see an example of such a tooling pipeline. And the important thing is to understand it does not start and end with CI/CD. It is much more. We call it the continuous delivery pipeline, where in the beginning you have the continuous exploration with the whole ideation, with all of the requirements engineering, the backlog management. Everything is in there and needs their special tools. And in the end, you have the release on demand, because when you are doing DevOps, you distinguish between deployment and release, and you want to be able to switch on and off feature toggles. And that's why we call this whole pipeline the continuous delivery pipeline. Based on that, you can see there are many tools. And when the team is responsible for all of these tools, it can lead to quite a lot of cognitive load for these teams, because they of course need to maintain these tools, and they also need to integrate these tools together. Of course, there are big vendors out there which say, yeah, we got you. We have our platform like GitLab or GitHub or Azure DevOps and many, many more. And they say, yeah, we have that continuous delivery pipeline for you. But when you take a closer look and also work with these tools, then you quickly find out that you need to replace some of the inadequate parts of it. And also what you see is that they, of course, also using third-party tools with a nice integration. I mean, you can also integrate other things, but it is not really completely seamless, the integration. And on top of that comes that we want to do DevOps. And you remember I said DevOps is a mindset, a culture, and a set of technical practices. And what we want to do is we want to create great products. So DevOps is sort of also modern software development, which allows us to continuously deliver value. Now, looking at the technical practices, which we need to do across this value stream, they are quite big and there are a lot of them. So in order to build great products, we should use these technical practices, all of them here, or some of them. It even gets worse. When new people join a project or a company, it usually takes quite a lot of time until they can work productively, which means they need to order access to GitLab, to GitHub, or to Jira or to Confluence, and the whole onboarding takes quite some time, which means that they have a bad time to productivity. The time to productivity is the time it needs from the start until they can work productively. And then when they start to work productive, then usually they, for example, want to order a new Kubernetes cluster, or they need to order a new database or a new environment. And again, this takes quite some time in many companies. Again, it can be days, weeks, or even months until they get that, which means they have a slow time to market. And then when we want to build very good products, then we need to ensure the quality, but we also need to ensure security. And doing devsecops is quite hard because you need to scan in different ways for vulnerability. And usually what then happens is the teams get completely overloaded, which means they are getting a low quality without any standards. So in summary, you can see that the cognitive load on teams is quite high. Which brings us to the question, can you scale DevOps at all? To answer that question, we need to make a quick step back. What do we exactly want to have? First of all, a company usually has a board where the managers are. In there, they have a vision and they have a strategy. Here you can see that. Here we have the example with drones, but I just use here drones because it's something you can think of, because software is a little bit too abstract, but you can also think about your software product in replacement of the drone. So this company, for example, they are building small drones. They have a small market share, and the board says, we want to increase this market share, which is our strategy. And to do that, they say, we need to come up with new drones. For example, a maintenance drone or a drone which can lift heavy weights. So that board, they have a portfolio Kanban where they have all of these bright ideas written in epics. And they are going now to prioritize these epics and are going to choose the epic which is most promising to execute their strategy in becoming a larger portion of the market. Now, here in this example, they have chosen the epic of making drones which can carry more weight. And they give that down to the product management level. There are the product management, and they are taking now this epic. They are going to analyze this epic, how they can make a drone which can carry more weight. And they say, okay, to do that, we of course need to have, first of all, a better battery, other engines, and a change in software. And these are the features which they are giving down to the team level. On the team level, we already have 2 teams which are working on the small drones. Now the features are coming down for the drone which can carry heavy weights. So now these teams will work on these new features, for example, adapting the software, and they will extract the user stories out of that. And you can see how this then goes into the continuous delivery pipeline of these teams. They have two existing continuous delivery pipelines. The first team is working on the software. The second team is working on the battery itself. For this new drone, which can carry heavy weights, we need new engines, which means for that we will have a new team which will take care about these engines. For that, we now have the platform engineering team, which will provide for this engine team a new continuous delivery pipeline, which is completely standardized, which allows this team in no time to be onboarded and be productive working on these new engines. Then, when they are working, the parts get assembled to this new drone, and the new drone is delivered to the customer. You can see the customer is very happy. You have more value for money, you have faster time to market, you have better product quality, and you have top qualified employees. But with that, the story is not finished, because we want to continuously deliver value, which means now we are going to start monitoring these drones or the software of the drones, and we are providing feedback back to the teams. But not only that, we of course want to also provide feedback to the board, because we not only need to measure the telemetry of our drones, we also need to measure the customer satisfaction and also how many drones we are selling and all of the data which is needed, so that we can give that to the board so that they can see if their vision is coming true to get more market share or if not, which allows them to make then decision based on this data. And this is the target picture what all of the company wants to have: a digital factory where you can fast create value to the customer, get fast feedback, and continuously learn. This is what all of the companies want to have. They want to create these digital factories. Let's summarize what this digital factory is doing. You have on top the lean portfolio management, which connects the strategy with the execution. On the bottom, you have the platform team, which develops, builds, and maintains the platform for the teams. In the middle, you have the product teams, which are developing parts of the product, maintaining that, and also operating these products. These product teams, they are generating value for the customer, and the platform team generates value for the teams. The platform team approach is called platform engineering. What you have is you have many product teams which are doing the development, the maintenance, and the operation of the product. So they build it, they run it, they own it. And in the middle, you have the platform team, which provides the platform where these product team can build their products on top of that. Here you can see how that works. You have the platform team, which develops, builds, and maintains the platform, which consists of all the tools, and all the standardization which is needed so that the product teams can work efficiently on their products. Such a platform needs to have not only tools, it needs to have much more. It needs to have application runtime and compute. It needs to have devsecops in it, which means it needs to allow you to shift left the whole security and everything and completely automate it. It needs to have access and identity, which means that you need to be able to onboard someone in the morning, and in the evening you can also remove that person, and it gets removed in all of the tools, onboarded also in all of the tools. And you want to have a centralized security so that you are really sure that your security really works out, and you want the whole monitoring and observability directly built in so that the teams don't need to invest many hours into creating their own foundation. When you have such a platform, this means that the teams can focus on the feature development and generate fast value for the customers, while the platform team generates value for the teams. And this is how you can scale DevOps, which brings us, of course, to the offering of Zühlke in the area of DevOps. Zühlke, of course, has a broad offering when it comes to DevOps. First of all, we have the DevOps engineering and DevOps consulting, where we are doing everything which allows you to go from projects to products and build up and streamline a state-of-the-art product delivery. There we have everything in there, from value stream engineering over continuous delivery and release orchestration. You cannot scale when your quality is bad. That's why you need to shift left. You need to build the quality directly in from the beginning, which also means you need to go into the direction of continuous testing. And of course, this is quite clear. You need to invest into test automation. And the third offering is our digital factory, which is a lean transformation approach where you can scale up your software delivery by standardization. And the fourth offering is the whole area of platform engineering, where we are together with you implementing an integral developer platform with all of the observabilities, the metrics, and also Kubernetes as a service. A challenge that many companies nowadays have is they have legacy application, but also legacy application landscapes. So therefore, we do application modernization, where we do software evaluation, enterprise architecture, and also the transformation of single application or even of complete landscapes. And the sixth one is the turnaround. There can be that you have a project or a product which is in trouble, and there we help our clients to get it back on track, to make it more reliable, resilient, and we increase, of course, the releasability and the operability of that product. Let's take a quick look at our assets. We have a great culture. We can do the cultural transformation in your company. We have a lot of experience. We can coach you. We have trainings for DevOps and all of the things which are needed to do DevOps. We have the pipeline building blocks, the quality toolbox. We have vitality checks for your application. We have health radars where we can assess your environment, your DevOps maturity. We have quality assessments. We do value stream mappings together with you. We have a lot of blueprints. And of course, we have a huge amount of lessons learned. Our capabilities are very broad when it comes to DevOps. Of course, we do a lot of value stream engineering, the agile quality assurance, enterprise architecture, legacy transformation. We bring in this DevOps culture, this culture of shared responsibility. Of course, we build your CI/CD pipeline or even your whole platform together with observability, infrastructure as code, container orchestration, and of course also behavior-driven development. These are just some of the capabilities which we can offer you. Now, let's have a look at the two large offerings which we have. The first big offering which we have is the Digital Factory. The Digital Factory is a lean transformation approach which can be applied to multiple teams, to whole organizations, or to the whole enterprise. This transformation approach allows you to transform your organization into a digital factory where you are able to continuously deliver value, to reduce your lead times, to improve the quality, and also to improve the value for money, and to increase the customer satisfaction and also the employee happiness. The Digital Factory itself is based on blueprints or building blocks that we already have. It is not like one of those frameworks. It's completely tailor-made for you and for your needs. Talking about your needs, we also need to talk about what is needed to deliver complex products. And this is a holistic approach which we apply when we are building up a digital factory together with you. When building a digital factory, you need to have a good and scalable architecture. We need to have very good APIs so that we can build these products on top of that. We of course need to have DevOps and the whole engineering, software engineering approach, and we need to have a platform where we can build these products on top of that. But then we also need data, because what we are going to do is we are going to observe the application and get all of the data out there, and we need to do something with the data so that the management can make the right decision and also the teams can make the right decision out of the data. And of course we want to have a great customer satisfaction, which leads us to the customer centricity and the customer experience. We need to center the customer in the center. We need to have a great end-to-end customer experience. And then we need to be able to scale the teams. So we need agile product delivery, which means we need to have backlog management, we need to manage the dependencies, manage the backlogs, manage the teams itself. And last but not least, we need the product management, where we are going to have a lean portfolio management, where we are going to connect the strategy with the execution. As you can see, the digital factory is a holistic approach, a lean transformation approach, where we are going to transform your organization or your enterprise into a digital factory. The second big offering which we have is the platform plane. The platform plane is an accelerator asset which we have at Zühlke. This accelerator asset builds upon the best of breed tools and links these tools together to an outstanding user experience. But the platform plane is not just a portal for your developers. It is much, much more. Let's have a look at the big picture of the platform plane. As you can see, the platform plane consists of many different things. First of all, we have application runtime and compute, where we have Kubernetes as a service, API gateways, a service catalog, and also managed ingress directly built into this platform. Then, of course, the developer experience is very important. That's why we have that portal, but not only that, we of course also have a CLI, we have application templates, and also networking and tunneling capabilities. And of course, security is very important. That's why we have automated the whole devsecops thing, where we have automatic software composition analysis, secret detection, automatic SAST, license scanning, and so on. Everything directly built into the platform. And access and identity are very important parts. So therefore we have self-onboarding for the teams, so that in the morning you can onboard someone and immediately this person gets access to all of the tools which are connected with the platform, and in the evening you can remove that person and this person loses all of the access immediately. Security is very important. That's why we have a centralized firewall support, a WAF support, and also network topologies directly out of the box. Monitoring or observability is very important when it comes to product development. That's why we have implemented the OpenTelemetry stack, which means you have managed dashboards, you have FinOps, KPIs, and of course, when you, for example, create a new database, it is automatically added, it gets the dashboards, it's automatically logging so that everything is already there for you to use. And of course, we are doing GitOps, we have continuous integration, continuous deployment, we have a secret management directly built in, and of course, we have already ready-made pipelines for you. When we look at the high-level architecture of the platform plane, then you can see on top and on the side all of the users of this platform plane. Of course, you have teams which are using the platform plane, but not only that, you also have the CISO or the head of development or the program manager or the enterprise architect, which are also using the platform plane, because the platform plane offers a broad set of standardization which it brings with it. On top, you have the CLI and the portal, and of course all of the tools that we already have integrated and which we are going to integrate in the future. On the bottom line, you see the integrated tools, and of course we can easily integrate more tools. What we always have is we have an adapter and a connector for such a tool. Then we have a unified integration block, and then the whole automation and provisioning layer where everything gets integrated together. As you can see, the tools which we integrate over the platform plane are not integrated together so that you end up with a big ball of mud. No, they are always integrated over adapters and the automation. This allows us to easily integrate new tools and also replace tools when they, for example, become obsolete. Here you can see some of the screenshots of the platform plane. Soon I will also do a demo of the platform plane itself so that you can also experience how it is to work with the platform plane. We are entering the age of industrialization of software development. And as you could see, we as Zühlke, we support you in this transformation into the industrialization of software development with our offerings. Together with our clients, we build the digital factory, which you can see here, where the platform engineering builds the platform, which is the foundation of your digital factory, which enables your teams to do DevOps and continuously deliver value to your customer. This is how we at Zühlke understand DevOps, and this is also the offering to you. And if you liked what you just saw, please ping me and we can have a chat about the digital factory and also DevOps.